I have got lip on. Right, where were I? Let's go through these. The Elton confirmed that the current contracts of Michael Smith and Josh Windass have been terminated by mutual consent. Sheffield Wednesday thanked Michael and Josh for their services and wished them well for the future. Statement from Josh Windass. Wow, 5.5 years at this incredible football club. I can't explain just how much I've enjoyed playing for this club, representing the badge and the people of Sheffield. To the staff that have worked with me behind the scenes, to the players and supporters, I can't thank you enough for the love and support you've given me during the time I've been here. I can categorically tell you without any hesitation that I've given 100% in every single day in training sessions. I can back that up. I've seen him train. And game, my goal is always to give supporters moments to remember when they go on from a game. And hopefully that's what I've done. Fuck. This is also thoroughly depressing, isn't it? What's my next one? Jerry Garmama. After 2 incredible years at Sheffield Wednesday, it's time to say goodbye. Oh, I should have had that music by that Italian fella, blind lad. Actually, I'm better not because it always makes me real when I hear that song. After 2 incredible years at Sheffield Wednesday, it's time to say goodbye. The club has shaped me in so many ways and I'll always be grateful for that. To everyone at the club, coaches, staff, teammates, and especially the fans, thank you for making these years so special. I've grown here both as a player and a person. Sheffield Wednesday will always be proud of me, wishing you all the very best for the future. Wednesday. The contracts of Josh Windass and Michael Smith have been terminated by mutual consent. Fucking hellfire. They've walked because you want to stay in this fucking shit show. Oh yes, we've agreed between us. That's like one of them birds starts going at gym and falls in love with gym instructor and then dumps fucking gimp husband. Oh, we've decided together as a family unit that I'm fucking him off. Ten days ago, sorry I'm not getting through your comments, just Bocelli, thank you, Paul. Yes, Bocelli, always makes me cry. Tom, yes, mutual consent, some cheek, it is. It really is fucking cheek, it's a load of bollocks. They've walked because they've got to look after themselves and they've got to look after the families and they cannot look after the families and they cannot look after themselves if they're working for the shithole of a club that can't even pay the fucking staff on time. It's an absolute fucking disgrace. Where are I? Oh, yeah. You missed loads because I'd muted my mic. I woke up this morning, I was quite happy. It's my day off, and I thought, right, so I had some nice breakfast, did missing a bit of scrambled egg on toast, lovely. Pot of tea, sat on back, marvellous. Then my mate from work, Matt, he messaged me and he says, oh, Jim, apparently they're on about getting your mate Pato signed back up. And I thought, fucking great. That's what you need. We're going to be shit. You need 11 Patos. So I thought, okay. I don't think out about it. And then I've been out for the rest of the day. Been to in-laws for some tea. Absolutely lovely. Had a few jars with father-in-law, brother-in-law. Lovely. Come home. My phone while I've been out. Ping, 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 ping. And it's all this bollocks. It's all this bollocks. 10 days ago, I worried. I thought, 2 right backs, 3 centre halves. Out of them 3 centre halves, one's a babby and one's always injured. And the only one in is currently injured till September. Fucked. One left back who might be going to Preston North End, fucked at the back. Completely fucked at the back. But I thought to myself, at least we've got a few options going forward. As long as you can nick goals, you've got a chance. I know, desperation thinking, but that's the mind of a football fan. Desperation thinking, but we've got some options up top. Now Masaba's gone, Garmama's gone, Windass has gone, and Smith's gone. We are totally fucked. Totally fucked. And then, let me see if I can find this, because there was another bit. Not Wednesday, where is it here? Let's have a look at this one. The OWLS can confirm that the current contracts, not that one. There's been so many. No. Anyway. Rob from Radio Sheffield, the North Stand has not got its safety certificate for this season. Tomorrow they're having another meeting about it because as far as you can see, there's no work being done. The deals fell through. Now, apparently there was 2 or 3 bidders and there was a preferred bidder. And obviously, because he's a fucking charlatan and a complete fucking lunatic, his preferred bidder was a kid who'd said, I'll give you double what everyone else is giving you. Well, of course he would say that because he's a fucking charlatan. But him, oh yeah, that's the one I want. And he goes, have you got proof of funds? Well, no, I ain't got proof of funds. I ain't got a fucking pot to piss in, mate. I'm just a bit of a geezer. So 2 wingers gone. 2 strikers gone. Nobody in back 4. Captain who's currently not being paid. Have I missed OWLS? Oh yeah. Yes, I have, yeah. The manager came back to training and everyone went, well, we're kidding on. Who knows what can happen? And now he's fucked off again. And the season kicks off in what? 3 weeks? 22 days? It's a fucking job. We're not going to have a club. Not as we understand it. Let me get into some of your comments. Sorry, I'm ranting. Let me get into some of your comments here. That's what we're saying. What we got? George, starting to fall out of love with football because the chances are there. Well, I don't think you're the only one. I mean, football generally is starting to annoy me. The Premier League has been a cartel for about the last 15, 20 years. It's been an absolute fucking joke. But what's happening with us? And Morecambe, by the way, another club that's... Paul Cook, talking about football is depressing. Can we talk about cartoons from our youth? I'll tell you something about cartoons from our youth. Guess what I found on the stick? The Mysterious Cities of Gold. Every episode. So I watched that when I was a kid. I watched it for about 2.5 years. And they never put the last episode on. They must like cancel the contract or something, or maybe viewing figures were down. They're not worried about it. I'm thinking about kids like me, invested in the Tales of Esteban and Tau and that fucking parrot. Let's get through some more. Tom Matthews, I'm generally debating to put in a German team like lockdown. Well, the gates at Allen for the last 5 years have been absolutely skyrocketing. And I can understand why. Because professional football, not just Wednesday's a complete fucking disgrace what's happened. But football in general, it pushes against everything that's normal for the working class man. I've said this before, I don't know how many times, and you're all bored of hearing me say this, but it's gospel truth. When I was a kid, I paid for the match ticket with my paper round money. What's a paper round kid got to earn now to be able to afford a match ticket at fucking Hillsborough? It's an absolute disgrace. But at football in general, everything's a disgrace. And I can more and more see the appeal of non-league football. I genuinely can. Let me get through some more. Make SWFC, can't see chance of having next month's money either. Well, that's thing, isn't it? That's thing. In his head at the minute, and we know this for a fact, because we know how he is, some sort of messiah complex. At the minute, he won't be looking at Windass and Smith leaving and Gassama going and Masaba going and we ain't got anybody in back for. He won't be looking at that and thinking, fool me, I've really shit my portfolio. He will genuinely be looking at that and thinking, sold them, paid staff, what a hero. He will be, because that's how his mind works. Like you say, fortnight's time, it's all going to be done again. Who's getting sold next month? At least we still have Ugbo. Do you know the irony? And I mean this. I know he has had a terrible time, Ugbo, last season. But he missed all pre-season, didn't he? And we know why he missed pre-season. He missed pre-season because Twa would not release him until they got the first instalment of their fee. And they didn't get the first instalment of their fee, so he was training over there with their kids and he missed his full Sheffield Wednesday pre-season. Now, we know what he can do when he's fully fit and ready to go from the year before. And I thought to myself, you know, he's had a shit year this year. And next season, I think he'll do something. I do, honestly. or at least they did, because we've just let go 90% of the supply line. Tom Matthews, 39 of 65 goals from last year gone. It's a joke, isn't it? So I did get one other positive message today. I've got to tell you this. One of the lads messaged me and he says a couple of embargoes out of 3 have been lifted, so we are now allowed to sign players. Who's coming here? You know, that wage limit, apparently, who's coming here? Nobody. Hang on. I've just got a message from my mate Jake. Careful with your live stream tonight. It's toxic as hell out there. It is. Shit weather and toxic as hell. Ah, dear. Let me get through some more comments. Other than that, how are you all feeling? Longerico, the fans can confirm the elephants are in the Don. It was done by mutual consent. That needs to happen. That needs to happen. Tell you who else can get it done. That monk they had. A lot of good that blessing did it. Get him back. No money back, no guarantee. Apparently Rangers are after Charles as well. Well, let him have a lot. Well, let him have a lot. Let him have them all. Let him have Valerie, Charles. Go with it. Do a deal. 7 players for 500 grand. Pay next month's staff wages, you know. Have them all. Apart from Barry Bannon, who obviously would not turn out for Rangers. Fucking on fire. Paul Cook, I'll bid 250 million. I mean, I ain't got it, but I'll bid it. Exactly. 3 serious people in for the club, bidding its value, 2 of them, and the third one, I'll give you twice over odds. Oh, I'll go with that one. He's a moron. Paul Cook, oh my God, yeah, I know what you're on about here. The Mysterious Cities of Gold, classic TV. And Ulysses 31, not annoyed me about Ulysses 31 is, I don't know why, but they were in space, weren't they? But you know, when they walked, every footstep had to make a noise. Now, in real life, every footstep don't make a noise. We've all had them gaffers who wear sag heels to let you know they're coming. But if I walk across our carpet in the living room in my slippers, you don't hear a noise. But in Ulysses 31, every footstep. I don't know how that annoyed me, but there we go. Gally, UB, 40? Or is that a message to me, Mr. Chancery? And is it missing the end of it? Bastard. Matthew Langley, Esteban, remember that? Classic show, Mysterious Cities of Gold. P. Wednesday, when does it look like on purpose? Can't be this shy with every decision about purpose. I think it can. I genuinely think it can, because he ain't got a clue what he's doing. Spoilt rich kid. Never had to work for a living. Never had to wake up when an alarm going off and get him sent out in the pissing rain and the dark and walk into town because the fucking buses hadn't even started yet, like I did in my first job. Get to town and wait on a Rundle gate to get another bus back out of town the other direction and then stand on a factory floor for fucking 10 hours. He's never had to do that. No. He's been spoiled. He's been built up like a little prince. He's been kept out of family affairs. And then at the end of the day, he's gone off and he's come here. He's bought a football club. I don't know what I'm doing here. What am I doing? Any advice? Some sneaky fucking crow. I'll give you some advice. Buy these players. He sips up, and the fans, because we've had 20 odd years of shit, at that stage 15 years of shit, they've treated him with adulation. Thanks for rescuing our club. Fucking hell, we thought we'd never see the day again. And he's gone, fucking, this is great. These folks fucking love me. And it's boosted up what was already a massive ego, because he's used to having money. He's used to swanning into a restaurant and not having to fucking wait for the table. Do you know what I mean? He's just going, I want that. And people going, oh, how many? And then he's tipped up here, 20,000 people. Oh, thank you. And he's like, yeah. So I don't think he has done it deliberately. I think he's done it because he hasn't fucking clue what he's doing. He's just lived a life of luxury. And then he's tipped up and he's having to deal with real world people. He's having to deal with agents who are fucking sharp and canny. And they've had his fucking pants down. And his advisors who've also had his pants down more than anyone else and give him a right good shafting right up fucking Ricker. Knob. Sorry. Russell Howe. Dogtanian, still going 20th. Loved a bit of Dogtanian. Guy, you monster. You still didn't say if the sick had the final episode on the series is gone. It did, yes, Guy. It does have the final episode. I haven't watched it, but I've skipped along the little thumbnails to make sure it was there, and it is there. So I will be watching that. I prefer us as a non-league team with somebody behind us. Well, you might get your wish, but it's clown in charge. Who's going to buy a football club with no players? That's everything, isn't it? That's everything. If you are buying a football club and you're going to go anywhere near a reasonable, bid for what it is, he's selling every asset you've got. Every asset you've got. In my opinion, you've got a ground. Let's call it a 3-sided ground because at North End, you've got a 3-sided ground, a Category 2 academy, a 1960s training facility with some cabins on it, like we're putting schoolyards after war. If you got 39-40 million, I think you'd be doing well. So the only assets you're really getting for your money is the playing staff and the management team. The manager don't want to be here. Looks like the players don't want him in anymore. And half the players are fucked off. So 40 million, I'd still be saying, I'll tell you what, you sold Garmama, you sold Masaba, Smith's gone, Windass has gone. I'll give you 25 million for the 3-sided ground, because that's all I'm buying. But that lunatic will be going, no, 90. Do you know what I mean? Sorry. I've had my grandstand season ticket for 1977 recently, North Stand with a cushion, £9. Tom Clark, the goalkeeper, could be going, why not? Why not? Genuinely, I'm not even kidding. If you're an half-decent semi-professional player, if you tipped up there next month, I think he'd sign you on. I think he were doing a good job. I should have done this from the beginning. Flogging players, signing people for nothing from Parks League. Brilliant. That's a business plan. I think he'd think that way as well. Will Windass wages go towards staff payments now? They'll all go to staff payments. Masaba, Garmama, Windass, Smith, all that. They'll pay staff, try and keep him out of getting into another embargo next month. What they're going to do the month after that, I don't know. Maybe he's clinging on. Sorry if I'm a bit agitated tonight, but I think we probably all are. Clinging on with his little diary. When's first Sky money get it? That's what he'll be thinking. I can cling on here. Anyway, let me get through your comments. Say no more 101. Boycott funding this idiot. Don't buy shirt, boycott games. I 100% agree. Don't spend a penny that you don't have to spend. Nigel, we bought the most expensive intermediate season tickets sold in history of football. It is. I mean, I'm not even getting into them shirts at 72 quid. It's the entire thing is a fucking joke. If you're buying two, you're funding Chancery, not the club. I agree. Sadly, I agree. We're still under embargo and fee restrictions. We are fucked. We sign players on a max $7 a week. What's that getting you in the championship? Jack shit. Jack shit, of course, formerly a youth player at Preston North End. You've got to trim that light of it, haven't you? We are fucked. Ian Crooks, Chancery probably thinks he's done well by cutting the wage, but genuinely, he will. He'll be looking at this and going, fuck, selling a few players, look at what money I've generated. He's twigging now, 10 years too late, what he should have known from fucking season 1. Get a player, turn him over, flog one, get some. Get some more in, a lower cost. The problem is, the way he's going about it, we're not going to have a team for the start of the season. It's a fire sale. Simon Pickersgill, do I think the ground is safe? Grandstand safe. Cop's probably safe, and unless you're worried about Legionella. Obviously, with water issues. North Stand, well, there's another meeting tomorrow. Another meeting with the Safety Advisory Group. And I must apologise, by the way. I don't apologise often because I'm very rarely wrong. But I must apologise to the Safety Advisory Group. Because for years, with our attendances coming down and down and down, you know, and the capacity, sorry, I thought, oh, what are these clowns? Fucking health and safety, you know. And I always thought it was because they didn't like the number of people with a gravity towards violence who sat here and didn't stand there to win. I thought that was it. I thought it's safe, but it ain't, is it? It's because it's falling down. I mean, I heard some other day, they wanted to look at the top, you know, the cantilever, obviously it's like that, isn't it? Right? And this photo's been doing rounds, but they wanted to look at the top bit. But you know what? They didn't even want to send anybody up because they were that worried about it. They had to send a fucking drone up. That sounds safe, doesn't it? Kill them all, Batesy. I hope you ain't killed them all. Love you, chef. Keep doing what you're doing. Excuse the bad grammar. Don't worry about bad grammar. Don't worry about that. I'm struggling with spelling me in. Tonight I'm struggling with speaking because, like I said, I've had such a lovely, lovely day. And I come home and it's a shit show. If I turned the internet off forever, I'd be an happier man because I won't be able to hear what's going on down here. Do you know what I mean? The elephants in the river will be an iconic message. You see what the old four-letter C? Remember Marine Boy with his oxygun? I don't think I watched that one. I don't think I watched that one. I was mainly Cities of Gold, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. That's always a classic. Ulysses. What else did I like watching? Oh, and of course, Batman, the animated series, which is probably the greatest continuing cartoon series of all time. He must be as thick as a brick turd if it's not on purpose, says P. Wednesday. And you've hit the nail on the head. Yes, he is. But like a lot of managers at work, there's nothing more dangerous than a thick person who thinks they're clever. They're the most fucking dangerous of all. Typical rich boy who's never been told no. Exactly. 100%. Waterbird. It's crap, but so as long as Chancery is gone and the club survives, the player losses are incidental. I agree with that, but genuinely, I don't know where Wednesday's going to be as a club. We've got a championship campaign coming up. We've just sold 2 forwards, 2 wing. In fact, think about it as a team lineup. Smith at centre, and we did this a few times last year. Smith at centre forward, Garmama, Windass, Masaba behind him. They've all gone. In one fucking swoop, they've gone. Almost the entire forward line. Say no more. Can't be shot that players leaving. I predict more will. Well, yeah, 100%. Darren spot on somebody who perfectly there, Paul. Wish you didn't have to sum it up. I wish I was sat here. I always used to have summer off. I've been doing this for about 3-4 years now, 4 years. Always had summer off. Come back to a little video about new kit, little video about new signings, and I'd do a bit of. Usually by the time I got back involved, signings were signed, sealed, and delivered. So I could just find out the stats, previous clubs, do nice little videos. This year, it's a fucking shit show, isn't it? An absolute shit show. And I've got to be honest with you, it's no fun talking about it. It really isn't. Where are we? Rum Punch Man, starting to feel like it might be a Wimbledon-style resurrection for us. It might take that. It might take that. Because I don't know how you get rid of him. Now, we're not buying shirts. Apparently, I've heard that only 5% of the normal number of sales were made on the first day of the shirt being available. 5% on this time, last time we had a new shirt. So we can starve him that way. But he's now twigged. Fucking hell, I can sell players. It took him 10 years, but he's arrived at, I can sell fucking players here. So I don't know. I don't know how long it'll take. I do not know how long it will take. I think Chancery's behind us because he's absolutely bumming us. He certainly is. He is fucking having us. When he's gone, the club will recover quicker than his finances. Yeah. He has spunked a lot of his own personal wealth in it, but he would not listen. He would not listen. When he very first came to the club and he said he didn't know what he was doing, I know this for a fact, that somebody from Sheffield who's been involved in football from me 14-year-old and held just about every position that you can possibly hold in football, offered his services for free because he's a Wednesday fan and said, this game is full of fucking sharks and mercenaries and you've just admitted you don't know what you're doing. I'll always be at end at phone. I'll be a guiding hand. And he's gone, no, don't worry about me. Will we get back to where we were? I think that was the when he's gone, the club will recover quicker, water bidders. And the club will recover quick, but we've had 25 years of shit. So recover to what level? This level? Bobbing between second and third division. Thoroughly depressing. When he first took over, TUG was plastered everywhere. I think his family have seen the bollocks he's made of it and pulled his funding. It was everywhere. It's hard to know whether they were funding it or whether him just turning up off his own bat, he thought he looked a bit tin pot. So he said, Dad, do you mind if I stick your stuff behind me? Just give me a bit of kudos, a bit of credit. I think it might have been as simple as that. Might have been as big as that. But lose a lot of fans by the time he sells. Some may not come back. Once the habit is broken, people lose interest for good. That is true. And I saw many people, not just Wednesday fans, by the way, and I mean of loads of clubs who have, with the costs, the expense of going to games, the cost of stuff in the shops, waiting lists for season tickets. That's what well-run clubs, by the way. And they've popped at odd non-league day and got a taste for it and said, I can do what I used to do here. I can tip up. I can pay £6 to get in. I can get a cup of tea that actually tastes like fucking tea. I can stand. I can have a fag. I can watch players trying their all. And I genuinely think wider than Wednesday. I think we're going to see non-league attendances going up all over the country. I really do. Where do I? Let me try and get through some more comments. Jez, evening, Jez. One of my long-standing viewers here. We're totally buggered, aren't we? We are. We're being shafted right up the Addis by him. I heard he accepted a bid for the washer and dryer for Kit. Nothing ever surprised me with this club. What happens if the North Stand is closed? Would season ticket holders paid their money back, entitled to money back? You're not going to penny back out of him. He ain't fucking got it, has he? He has been robbing Peter to pay Paul for the last 5-6 years. Maybe longer. If you've got a season ticket up north, my best guess is that you will get some sort of email from the club. If it's not past fit, we'll gather there's a meeting tomorrow. If that's not past fit, I guarantee you'll end up getting some sort of communication from the club, from some poor bastard who's having to do dirty work, that will say, due to unforeseen circumstances which we are trying to remedy, blah, 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 blah. This season we can offer you a seat at the back of the carport on the South Stand. That'll be it. But that brings a wider picture to it, doesn't it? If you're sat on grandstand, for example, sat there in your seat, this sort of way, and suddenly you've got a 40-year-old bloke covered in Burberry, cocked off his fucking head, who was used to sitting on that end and spending 90 minutes pointing at Wayne and having watching match, he suddenly sat there and you're thinking, I've paid more money to sit up here with my kids out of way of him. And now he's sat here and he's paid less money for the seat in the very fucking stand I'm sat in. It creates all sorts of bollocks. It does, doesn't it? All sorts of bollocks. And I knew my Stevenson ticket holders trying for refunds and chargebacks. Also had mates trying to sell their season tickets. Absolutely fucked. I agree totally. I think we are fucked. I think Mr. J sums it up best here for all of us. I'm in a rage tonight. Yeah, I think we're all in a fucking rage. As I said, I've been out for a day and I've had a really nice day, really chilled, had some nice tea. Always nice when you have tea and you don't have to wash up in it. Had a few pints, nice chat, come in, lovely evening. I'm off tomorrow and I'm like, marvellous. And then my phone, honestly, the notification, I looked at it, I went, you only think you're seeing things. So it's at 2. It looks like 27. ZX Spectacle. Honestly, I feel sorry for my two boys that I've made them have to endure this shit. They've been utterly miserable for weeks. I mean, part of that is being a Wednesday supporter more generally in it, but yeah, it is an absolute shit show. Look, what I will say is, if they're coming in at this time, at this level, then in future, anything else will be like a bonus to them. It will. You know, little things like paying players and having a team to be proud of. Can you see a Bury outcome happening? The only thing about Wednesday is because of the size of the fan base, there will always be a Wednesday in some form or other. How that looks, if he completely fucks it up, which I don't think he's far away from doing. How that looks, I don't know. But I could see a Wednesday 2026 forming as a new club. And like I said, with them, even if you had to start from bottom, you'd still get 15,000 if they were playing in conference. You would, because it's just the size. It's the size. We'll always be here in some way, shape, or form. But why does everything always have to turn to complete fucking shite in this country before people go, oh yeah, it weren't bad that. Let's try and build it back up. You know what I mean? It shouldn't get to that. It shouldn't get to that in the first place. Sorry, I'm not going through your comments. I am a little bit pissed as well. Let's have a look. Jess, they can probably safely close the cantilever for the season, still have room for spare for home crowd. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. As I said before, they will. I expect if that doesn't get its safety certificate, I genuinely expect people will be getting an email to say, great idea for you. You're going to get a different view this year from the back of the Cop. I think that'll happen. Iceman and Faster with his mates. You refer, of course, to Spider-Man and his amazing friends. One of the best cartoons of my youth. Firestar, there was one episode. She got a boyfriend, Sunfire. He was a Japanese mutant. He was a right mardy ass. When right at the end, they had a snog on the roof. And honestly, I was 10, 11, and I thought, look at that wanker. May have been my first heartbreak there. Right, where do I? Let's keep going. Chef, please, do not stop what you're doing. You're like Del Boy. You can make a funeral seem funny. You've got to laugh. You have got to laugh because it's the only thing that keeps you going. You either laugh or you write poetry. And let's be honest, most poetry, you want to top yourself by the time you finish reading it. Let's be honest about it. So let's laugh. It's all we can do. It is all we can do. I'm probably a bit older. Noggin the Nog. And what was the other one? Ivory Engine. The new Superman is decent. I'll tell you what, while we're talking about cartoons, when I first got the stick, it opened a whole new world. There's so many feature-length cartoons now. Some Batman ones, they're actually quite brutal. Sat down one night with one. Kids and Alice had gone to bed with a bit of leftover Chinese. I thought, well, I'll have that. I sat down. I thought, oh, I'll watch this Batman cartoon. It was a feature-length one. And probably in the first 30 seconds, I see more of a bloodbath in a cartoon than I've seen in any other live-action film in the last 20 years. He was out in Japan somewhere, and he was just slicing ninjas up for fun. And I thought Batman weren't going to kill. Got off the topic here a bit, aren't we? There we go. Next month will be, I paid our one and only member of staff. I'm great. That's his attitude. That is his attitude. He does the very minimum required to run any sort of firm and thinks that's going above and beyond the colour duty. You know. It does. It fucking annoys us. We're fucked. McNeil, Ugbo, Kabaski. Championship defenders must be shitting themselves. The only thing you can say is McNeil, Ugbo, Kabaski, whoever else is playing, and there's going to be kids in there this year. Make no bones about that. There's going to be kids in there this year. And what we've got to do, we've got to get behind them kids. And I know I can have a joke in myself, but I'm being 100% serious now. That man's a complete fuckwit. Who has destroyed our club. He's still destroying our club. And if we make it to the start of the season, there will be a lot of kids playing. And as upset as we are, as stressed as we are, and as shit as it's going to be, and it will be shit, mark my words, we've got to get behind them. Them players need us more than they've ever needed us at any other time in our history. We're on an hiding to nothing. And there's going to be kids in there learning the trade, learning on the job, and they're going to make mistakes, and they're going to make plenty of them because the championship is an unforgiving division, and we've got to get behind them kids. It's going to be tough, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to watch. And sometimes we're going to be sat there going, this is fucking wank. Keep it in. Wait till you get home and tell me or tell your mates or phone in Radio Sheffield or whatever you want to do, but keep it in. But while you're in ground, get behind them lads. They might make 4 shit passes on spin. If the 5th one's a decent one, applaud it, lift them. I know it's hard to ignore the negative and focus on positive, but in terms of them kids, that's what we're going to have to do next season. Get behind the boys. It's nothing that happens next season on the pitch, whether it's a relegation or a pasting or whatever it is, none of that is going to be the fault of them kids who's out there. We know whose fault it is, so let's get behind them boys. That's me Churchill bit done. I live down road. That road from where? The Wednesday ground? My house? I go to Rangers style resurrection, 40,000 fans in National League, each one would be pretty cool. I'd go with that, obviously with our 3-sided ground. I'm in a rage tonight and I don't think we're close to the worst. If he's still in next season in League One, the fans' money could be running the club, servicing his debt. Fucking hell, it's really pissing it down out there now. And this has been one of the things all along. Ice ticket prices in division. 4th lowest wage budget. I want an ice skates in division. How can you have one at ice skates in division? And when I mean ice skate, I mean we're pulling in 4 times more than some clubs in this division. And at the highest prices in the division. 4th lowest wage budget and spending it on players. That should have been telling people, the authorities, everybody, something's not fucking right at Sheffield Wednesday years ago. Years ago. Paul Cook, not seen the new Superman yet, but really looking forward to Fantastic Four film. Galactus from Yorkshire. I saw a trailer for new Superman. I seen Crypto, and I thought, wow, what are they doing here? And I thought, actually, yeah, it's back to comic book, innit? My dad's always told me when he used to get comics when he was a kid, we're going off topic, but never mind, something shady. Superboy, Crypto the Super Dog. And haven't superhero films sort of got darker over years? How dark can we make it? I don't know. Forgetting the original element, which were fun, you know. So, I've seen that trailer for new Superman, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. I am a big Superman fan. As you might tell, I don't know if you can see that. Is that showing up? Probably focus on there, isn't it? Yeah, I've got my Superman. I bought that when my first ever wage slip. And it cost most of my first ever wage slip. I can remember getting in. And my dad saying, oh, and I went, I've spent it all on this and a pair of cowboy boots. And my father went, you know. Yes, looking forward to that. I do also have my little Superman tattoo. Right, where are we going? Magic Mall 98, go and watch Hallam, Sheffield FC, Stocksbridge, Handsworth. Yeah. In fact, I've got to be honest with you. I do like to try and get at least once or twice a year to go and watch Club or Hallam. Gee, all right, Chef, how you doing? You've probably missed how long we've been going. Don't even know. Anybody know how long we've been going here tonight? Oh, 40 minutes. We're all doing very badly. We're all doing very badly, G, but we're trying to keep each other going, mainly by talking about 1980s cartoons. That's all you can really do, innit? Let me get through some more comments. Sorry if I don't read them all out because I've got an absolute list here. You're all same as me. Can't sleep at night with this clown. Gruber kick owl. Well, Dapon's family will be sat there next meeting saying that because he wasn't involved in canned tuna. Exactly. They would not let him be involved in tuna because he ain't got a clue what he's doing with anything. It reminds me a little bit, you know, when you get them academics, what absolute geniuses in the field, but they don't know how to work a kettle. There's something wrong with a kettle, Jim. It won't work, but oh yeah, you want to put the switch down. You know what I mean? Them people. I don't know what his genius is in, but it's... Remember when they threw tennis balls, attended protest marches and turned them back on 10 minutes and everybody laughed? Guess what? They ain't laughing now. No, nobody's laughing. Although I'm not sure there were many laughing then, to be honest with you. There were one or two naysayers. I got quite a few comments. You know, I've always tried to remain pretty neutral, you know. But the first time I turned on Chancery, probably might be about 3 years ago. I took a dog's abuse, and YouTube hold comments that they consider to be, you know, quite serious, and I got loads. Fanboys, but I'm sure even most of them will have turned around now and realise what he is. I bet he's never had a corned beef thick pastry pie relish. Ian, he ain't I've got to laugh. This is how bad it's got. I'm actually thinking about that and seeing it as another reason to hate him. Yeah, the wanker. Probably never had a fucking corned beef pie. That's how it affects you, isn't it? Tom Matthews, I've heard Rangers are interested in Doris the tea lady. I won't be surprised, but on a serious note, absolute praise for those people who've worked for this lunatic for the last 10 years, who ain't been getting paid, and I know they've been paid now, but that's not the issue, who've been turning up day in and out through this entire shit show since last season ended especially, and doing the job. Absolute dedication to the cause while he's hiding thousands of miles away. Huge praise to them people, because they're the people who keep the club going. They're the lifeblood of the club, those people. Bob Hoskins. Worst thing about North Stand potentially closing, as you'll see on TV, is his fucking name. Genuinely. Somebody should get in there and put black bin bags over that bit that spells out his name if it's going to be closed anyway. Or maybe they can get him with like a, not Tipex, a very small thing. Right, make that word into something else. I'm sure that could be done. It's been horrific summer, but we did have those 2 hours, didn't we? The Tillman time. Like I said in the last video, I don't know if anybody saw it, you probably have. It feels like last season never ended. There was no cut-off. There was no, well, we stayed up and that's the main thing. We had a sniff at playoffs, didn't quite make it, but there we go. That's 24, 25, put to bed. let's get a bit of piss booing on and get out in the sun and enjoy a couple of jars and enjoy it summer. And then, pick up a newspaper 3 weeks later. Are we after anybody? There's been none of that, have we? It's just carried on. A tsunami of shite from one season into the next. It has. It's been a horrific, horrific summer, Gally. Can't believe 10 years and it's reached this point. How does one man lead us straight to this point? Because he's never heard the word no in his life. And anybody who does tell him no gets fucked off. There was the woman who came up from Charlatan, Katrine. She said, he's brought me Peter Ru's job and then he won't let me do it. She fucked off. The transfer committee, do you remember that? When he first came to the transfer committee, who weren't really a transfer committee. We know they weren't a transfer committee. They were nothing but a bluff to the FA and the authorities, because the actual director of football, the unofficial director of football, isn't allowed to be involved in English football because of past misdemeanours. So that was just a cover. And when they twigged that they were nothing more than a patsy, they fucked off, you know. And yes, I have said that out loud now, but I'm actually past fucking caring. What's he going to do? Because it's the truth. Evening, Jim. Evening, Brian. Evening, Paul. Tom Daly, not the Tom Daly of diving fame. We all get season tickets at Allen then. I used to go Allen quite regularly at one bit midweek, and honestly, there was an handful there. And last time I went to Allen, I went with an old mate of mine. It was midweek. Well, should we go for a pint? So, and he says, "Well, should we get a game in somewhere?" Well, check fixtures, see if clubs at home or Allen's at home. Anyway, Allen's at home. I says, "Oh, we'll bob up there." It was fucking rammed. Now, it might have been 2 years since I'd been before that. It was rammed. The attendances were up by about 300%. What's happened there, I don't know, but all credit to them. All credit to them. Absolutely brilliant. But like I said, I think a lot of that is people are sick of professional football. John Braley. Hey, mate. Feeling low tonight. The season's going to be tough. Those audible Saturday nights after a loss, more frequent and depressing. Braille used to play for me, left back, terrific player, tenacious, strong in tackle, terrific, like great attitude as well. Always one of my first picks on team sheet, smashing lad. And this message just reminds me, when we lost games, we would be messaging each other all night. Fucking this and that. And now we've got to wait fucking 7 days to put it right. And yes, Braille, it is going to be tough. It's going to be really fucking tough. And like I said, the one thing I always try and find a positive, you know me, I always try and find a positive in this. And the one positive I got is, as shit as it's going to be, and we are going to lose place, at least we've got some options up top end of pitch. You know, we've got one left back, 3 centre halves, 2 injury prone, and 1's a kid, and this and that. But top end of that, we can still nick goals here. But now Smith, Windass, Gassama, Masaba, in what, 6 days? We are fucked. We are fucked. There's no other way of looking at that. Timothy, picture this. He puts 2-1 in the south and then looks up for the game. I had fear for the safety. I will tell you now, Tom, we will never, and I will stake my house in this, we will never see him there again. He will not tip up to a match again. Honestly. He won't. We won't see him. Jake, $4.99. That can go towards ice cream pot. I'm after a big pot of ice cream. You know, that stuff that you used to get when you took birds for a video. Do you remember Blockbusters? I used to use my mum and dad's card. The first time I got my own card, and I said to a bird, we're going down at Blockbusters, we can get a DVD and video. Pulled my own card out, you know, not mum and dad's. I get do you want a tub of Häagen-Dazs? That was it. A tub of Häagen-Dazs, suave, with me fucking Paco Rabanne settee. Anyway, Jake, thanks for that. I am going to get some ice cream because it's very hot. In fact, I might take this off. Let's do some more comments. Martin Butler, you playing cricket in your profile picture there, Martin? If nothing's closed, Why would it be safe for the player to take a throw-in on that side of the pitch? Would you stand under it? Probably. Are we going to have any players to take throw-ins? We are that far in the shit. Paul Cook, pens in the England-Sweden game. Is there a Tiddlywinks game going on tonight? No. It's a joke. It's a joke. Yes, I haven't seen much of women's. I'll be honest with you, I find it depressing enough watching men. Hot. Sorry, it's taking me a while to get through these comments. There is a lot of comments in here tonight. Very, very busy. Just thankful I would take the members of the 90s to my grave. So many people don't have them. Don't feel I can introduce my lad to it yet. How bad is that? Well, I don't know, Bill. I said this earlier. If you take your kids to something when it's completely fucking wank and they fall in love with it, then when it does get good, I think there's that more of a warmth inside, isn't there? Think about kids now who get took and they become Man City fans. Imagine that. And imagine if it all went to shit there. The Sheikh pulls out, the sovereign state pulls out, and they end up going back to being old Man City. Is that more painful for them that way? Whereas if you brought into shit, if you brought into a life of suffering, third world problems, of course, but you know what I mean. How many players have walked out in gym? Well, Brian, they haven't walked out. No, the club tells us, and we can trust them because the club have never lied. Mutual consent. They hadn't handed in the notice and said, fuck this shit show, I'm off. No, mutual consent. Amicable parting of the ways. Richard Jones, has Danny fucked off the know-what gym? I have heard that he has fucked back off. I heard there was a bit of a meeting with the players before he came back. He still came back, and then the players have told the club, who that is, I don't know, because it's not him, because he's fucking miles away, unless, Bannon's texted him. Yeah, the channels. That they've said they're not happy about him coming back, because he did, he did say some of them were not good enough last season, and obviously, he slipped up last minute. And I think Danny's been made a bit of a scapegoat. I'll be honest with you, I think he's been made a bit of a scapegoat for the way the club's run. That's just modern football, isn't it? But what I would say is, when it became evident he weren't going to get a club, and I think that was evident 3-4 weeks ago, if I'm honest with you, nobody's paying the fee that Chancery's asking for him. I think it's then up to him to say, right, you know what, I'm under contract, I'll get back. Barry Bannon's done it. Barry Bannon's come back to pre-season, knowing he hasn't been paid, knowing there's a contract that he probably can't realistically sign, and he's come back and done his job. So I can sort of understand from somebody like his point of view, saying, well, I ain't even got a contract and I'm here doing my best because I love this football club. You're under contract, you're not fucking here. So I can sort of understand that. Let's get through this. Starfire was originally introduced into X-Men along the likes of Wolverine in about 76. He left the X-Men after 2 issues. Good Paul. And after he came into Spider-Man and his amazing friends and got off with Firestar, I'd have been quite glad if he'd never tipped up at home. The bastard. You should watch Invincible. Goose. Yes, I could do a word with you about redoing my little thing because my emblem for my channel's not very good, is it? It's a cartoon version in my head. Or do we like that? Firestar is in the chat. Slicing ninjas for fun. Batman, I can't remember what it was called. I'm going to Google it. But cartoons now are not like cartoons then. This was brutal. Batman had got a bastard son who'd been raised with grandfather and was being hidden in a ninja temple. And Batman went there and it was an absolute bloodbath. It weren't the Batman I was used to reading anyway. Let me put it that way. Let me get through these. Oh, I've accidentally swiped something wrong way. I'll never get that, but I don't even know what that is. Ah, well, fucking hell. Let's get through some more comments. I've just read that one. I'm getting lost. So many comments. HMS piss relegation. I did see odds earlier. It put it 5-2 for relegation. It fucking can be. You in charge? Fucking hell. Rick Paddy won't do anything. He's touching himself over this. The AFL have got a certain problem. And we can slag them off, and I've slagged them off. Fucking get involved. Fucking do something about these wankers who are ruining these clubs. But one of the problems they've got is the AFL are held tight by the regulations that they run to. There's a set of parameters that they follow. Now, the problem is these rules, regulations, and parameters, that regulations, are signed off by the clubs. So it's signed off by the very clowns who are running these clubs into the ground. And that's a problem. So every loophole in there, every sneaky way through, because any spiv, they're like water, aren't they? They'll always find a fucking way. All these spivs who are running clubs, and they are spivs, and I don't care who it is that, they find a way, and they're the ones who signed off these regulations, and they're the ones who, when there's been bits in there that, I'm not sure about that bit, about fucking off bent bastards. Can we get rid of that? And the AFL, they ain't got the power. The power is all, in this country, the power is all with the Premier League and the owners. The FA, no strength whatsoever. The EFL, no strength at all. It's the Premier League and the club owners, and that's it. So, and I think they are worried. I think they are worried about us, but their hands are tied. Hopefully, this new independent football regulator, the Commons and the Lords are trying to get through, hopefully that will make a difference. I would love to be on that panel. What a job, because I've got a real sense of injustice. I've got a mate called Kieran who said, Jim, you've got a very enlarged injustice gland, and I have. I fucking hate. What a job that'd be. Combing through stuff to stop spivs getting their hands on football clubs. I'd fucking love that, mate. We've been to Yorkshire Vault. One bit dripped out. Apparently, there's multiple at the table, and it's not DC they're talking to. Some kind of blow-out shining arm will do. The thing is, Mr. Major, there is an agency actively trying to sell the club. Professionals, people who know what they're doing. They're actively wanting to sell. The problem is, and it's like an estate agent trying to sell my house. They can say, leave it to us, and they can go out. They can get in touch with people who might want to buy an house with this many rooms and of this size in this postcode, good for schools and blah, blah, blah. And they might come back to me and say, right, you've left it in our capable hands. These 3 people want to buy your house. The problem is, the final decision still comes down to me. And I might go, I'll go for that clown. That's where it falls down. Owen Ledger. Pitch invasion at Stoke till it's called off and every home game from then on till he's gone. Pitch invasion, they'll put a fucking kit on you with that short of players. Rose are red, I like Jack Hunt. When's in trouble because Chansiri is it? Correct. See, and I said poetry had to be miserable, but it doesn't. That's just proved me wrong there. We can have positive poetry. Every touch of the ball by Bannon or Palmer should be celebrated like a goal. I think we're going to have to celebrate every touch of ball by any Wednesday player like it's a goal. It's going to be a tough season. I mean, I don't know if any of you have heard. I've heard that Preston have been sniffing Mike Slow. If he goes there, we're at left back. A second division professional football team with over 150 years of history behind it. He's 3 weeks away from a season and not got a left back in the squad. I mean, fuck me. Do you know what I mean? Good stream, Nellard. Wish this 1867 news would shit his mouth on. Shut, do you mean? Look, listen. He's obviously got some insider knowledge that the rest of us haven't, and fair play to him. But the truth is, things in football can change very quickly. You can have somebody can pass you on stuff. Folks pass stuff on to me. I've got to be honest with you. Folks tell me stuff, but there's little to no point saying it, because in football, even if it's 100% genuine on a Wednesday, it can be flipped on its head by Thursday. I've heard things about players coming. It's 100% done. He's here. He's in the hotel. His missus is here. He's even had his parents round with kids looking out City for an house. It's all done. And next day, he's gone somewhere else. So it's, and what I would always say about the 1867 news is, when Chansiri were being a mouth, well, if you fucking wankers think club's yours and you can know better, you go and find me a fucking buyer. He went out and went, oh, all right, I'll try and find one. And he did. And even if that bid with the Shore and that concert, even if we never heard about that again, him going out and finding them and them sticking their head above the parapet has started the ball rolling that other people have come forward. So I'll always be eternally grateful for that. And, this sort of thing. Like I said, sharing news and rumour on Twitter, you'll never win. You'll never win. Mark Ennis, new Superman is total shit. But Mark, is that because it's a flashback to the golden age of comics? Before everything had to go super dark, but there was still some humour in there, I'm going to say, who do we blame for that? And I think Bale's Batman took it down a level, didn't it? That made it very dark and realistic. The problem with superhero films is they're not realistic enough. It's a film about a man who can fucking fly and see through walls. What the fuck you on about? It's not realistic enough. Clowns. Now, I'm going to give it a try. And like I said, when I saw the trailer at first, I was like, oh, is this a bit childish and stuff? And then I thought, it's based off a Superman comic. The entire premise is childish, isn't it? So I'm going to give it a chance. How many clubs will score own goals out of sympathy? It might take that. OG might be our top scorer next season. I'm going to watch New Fantastic Four. That's class. You've got to take these films for what they are, don't you? I like to look at New Fantastic Four, but equally, I like the look of the new Superman because it's a different take on it. It's a more old-fashioned take on it. Like I said, getting back to comic book origins, Braille, Superman tattoo. Yes, it's still there. It's 30-year-old now, but it's still there. It probably needs touching up. If you're not pricing things now, it probably cost me more to have that touched up than it took to get it done in first. In fact, it is fading a bit. But like I said, it's a 30-year-old tattoo. It's older than my kids. Thoughts of administration and new owners. If you've got time to lig about, and I'm sure you're not all going anywhere at 10 past 11 at night. When we first got into shit, 20 odd years ago, and they were all that with bank, and other clubs were going into admin or cheating. So there were Leeds, weren't they? Leicester, Bournemouth. There were loads of clubs doing it down. All these clubs went into administration and come back out the side. I was, in a very naive way, looking back at it, I was very proud that we didn't do it. I saw all these clubs go into admin, and I was right proud that Wednesday didn't do it. I was like, no, we're doing it proper way. So we're not ripping off, the pie company that makes the pies. We're not ripping off the program printers who are only going to get 10p for every pound they're old, I thought we're doing it the proper way. We're doing it the gentlemanly way, the Corinthian way. We got into a shit, and we're going to work our way out of it, and we're not going to take anybody else down. to wriggle out of it. And there were part of me that for years that were very proud of that fact that we didn't go into admin and we didn't rob anybody else or rob any other firms. And now I wish we had. All the way back then, I wish we'd said, no, just fuck it, Well, if Printers goes under, Printers goes under. If Butchers goes under, he goes under. Fuck it. Let's start again as Wednesday 2002 or whatever it were. And looking, look at Leicester. They won a league off back of going in admin. Look at Leeds, they've done it. All these clubs have done it. And, and we did it the gentleman way. Oh, we've got into the shit and it's our way to dig our way out of it with a fucking teaspoon for the next 30 years. And like I said, at the time, the part of me that were proud that we didn't cheat. Now I look back and think, fuck it, I wish we'd done it. DC Comics, rolling cool. I still need comics now. I'm not too afraid to admit it. Oh my God, drama in the England match. You'll have to fill me in. What's happening? God, that's 15 minutes ago. It's probably all over by now. Like I said, so many comments tonight. Who else wants 66 shut his mouth on it, doing club no favours? Like I said, I don't doubt he's getting information, and a lot of it will probably be true, but in football, things change overnight. Waterbird, watch new Superman yesterday. It's good fun, old-fashioned comic style. That's what I mean. It's different to what we used to with the Henry Cavill one and this over in, Look at when Weirdo always put his birds in films. Burton. Look at when Burton did Batman. There was an absolute uproar then, and this is pre-internet, by the way. There was an absolute uproar then. People are going, "There's fucking dark suit. Batman's not like that because they were used to Adam West. There were campaigns in America. Why can't Adam West come back as Batman?" And Burton went, "Well, no, I'm doing a different Batman." And that's what you can do. And that's the great thing about the story and the rich history of these characters is you can take it in different directions and draw from different elements. So, yeah, I'm glad Waterbird you've enjoyed it, and I hope I will when I see it. What up, pissed off? Well, Dungeons and Dragons classic. Could do with Chanseri making a vanishing out like Dungeon Master. I used to work with a bloke who looked the spitting image of Dungeon Master. He was about the same height. He was the absolute spit. Except he was called Dave. Not quite as glamorous. Everyone remember the Moomins from the 70s? I want to visit Moomin World even in my 50s. Do you remember the Moomins? I don't know why. I found them a bit spooky. Yeah, I don't know why. And the Flumps. I remember the Flumps. DC not cool, but DC Comics is correct. Academics, don't stop me on academics. Worked in units for 35 years now. I'll say no more than the subject because I'm still there. His brain is corned beef. I'd sooner have Dave Allen than Chanseri. Surely we're the most polarising club, top of the league, bottle it, playoffs, 4-0 down, pull that back, set the manager, Cisco, Danny Roll, works in medical, normal season, now we're fucked. I've said this before. There's this Wrexham documentary. I remember watching the Sunderland one with Peter Reid when I was younger, and I thought that was fantastic. And many, many years back, there was even a documentary about United that I remember watching. But if somebody had been streaming what's happened at Hillsborough for the last 5 years, it would be absolute box office. Your viewing would be off the charts. It'd be an absolute money-making scheme. Lioness's crazy shootout. Isn't it just? Has that finished now? You'll have to let me know, guys, what's happening there with a shootout. Good to be put with North Stand is condemned. And it's his name etched into seats, ruined by yours truly. Like I said, I've got to the point now that if people take matters into their own hands, I'm a little bit like, well, yeah. Never mind repairs, just bulldozing off. Josh Bam, crazy penalties that. Let's have a look. England are through, and probably the worst penalty shootout I've ever seen. I've seen a few bad ones. Was it really that bad? Blog Jericho agreed. Those pens were awful. I weren't going to watch it. I'm going to have to watch highlights now, man. Hallam were very accommodating during the pandemic. It grew their fan base. Yeah, that's the thing. Betty Tigers. Betty's always commented on my videos. I wonder if Wednesday could sell their championship status to a Division 3 team, swap places with them, and win that league ready for new season. I very much doubt that. However, I won't put it past Chance City to try something like that. I think he quite enjoys it when we're in 3rd division, doesn't he? And anyway, let's not worry about that, because I'm pretty sure we'll be in the 3rd division at the end of next season anyway. Pens report from both sides. Chloe Kelly is brilliant now. I must admit, my knowledge of the women's game is a borderline zero. Borderline zero. Shocking pens, but very dramatic. But that's what it is, isn't it? Drama. That's what football's about. Is that expectable? Battle of the Planets. Now that is a cartoon. I did actually have Battle of the Planets planned for my intro music for tonight's video, but then the news was so depressing and Battle of the Planets theme tune is so uplifting. I thought, no. He'll never come to Sheffield again. He won't. I generally don't think he will. Every time we call out something positive, it disappears. He does. Won't McNeil up front next season? But it might have to be. And do you know what? I've said it before. We've just got to get behind him. We've got to get behind, because it's not their fault that clubs run like a complete fucking circus. Division 8. Brian, I've heard today that Bannon was the main voice up in arms against DR. Any truth in that? I've heard that from 2 people, and one of them worked for what I would have said was not a reputable newspaper, by which I mean a tabloid newspaper. So I don't take out what they say. As I said, would he be up in arms? Well, he's turned up unpaid and kept things going. He's turned up and he's done his job, and he's seen someone who's not turned up. Who I think what Danny's done is just enough to not breach his contract. Let me put it that way. Less than a month before the first game, we're losing to left, right, and centre. With all this short, we'll probably win at Leicester. Well, they're having a tough time themselves, Leicester, but I'll be very surprised if we go there and get a result. Blockbusters at a different moment. Oh, is that going back to DVDs? Well, you were a bit of an hero, weren't you? You got your own Blockbuster card. Suave. Should say this still here. Let's get through some more. There's one like, what did Mandriva? You'll have to ask me again with that one, mate. Shirt prices, what's that about? I'll tell you what that's about. It's about 30 quid over odds for what they are. Polyester shirts. Absolute fucking disgrace. Evening Sharman. Yes, we've been having a bit of a mump together. We've all been sat here trying to get over the news today that Windass has gone, Smith's gone on top of Masaba and Gassama, and somebody wants Pierce Charles. And off subject, but Chelsea making some serious moves in the market. Maybe they can put up a fight with City and Liverpool now. Well, I hope they don't. They can get in fucking bin for me, because they're one of the times when I really started first thinking about footballers. What the fuck's this becoming? You know, when Abramovich first tipped up and got them out of this shit, by the way. They were truly in the shit, Chelsea. And I can remember them at Gavin Gates at fucking 15, 16,000. Well, there we go. Money. It's money that's ruined football. Money that's ruined football. Super Duxter, love your logo, Jim. Do you think so? It looks a bit cheap, doesn't it? I'll tell you why it looks cheap. Because I made it on Microsoft Paint. Yeah. And I had to cut round the head with mouse like that. And then move it. Oh, fucking hell. Hours. X-Men 97. That's not that old, is he? Is that old? Bannon should get a statue. What do you think? Yeah, I think Bannon. Yeah, I think he's a modern day hero. And the good thing about a Bannon statue is won't cost you a lot of money because it'll only be about that big, won't it? They could make a Bannon statue out of one of the legs off them elephants. Yeah. Who would I like as our new owners? Right. Don't have to be a big name. Don't have to be somebody I've heard of. All I'd want from a new owner is someone who's going to come in and say, right, them debts are paid off. I'm going to have a look at the infrastructure at the club. The first thing I'm going to do is get the academy either sorted out to a category 1 so we don't get ripped off every summer, or abolish it full stop. Don't care which of the two it is, but either get it upgraded or get rid of it full stop. Because at the minute, we're producing talent that's getting robbed. First thing. Let's look at the ground, the infrastructure of the ground. Can we do it up? If we can't do it up, can we move somewhere else? I don't want somebody who's going to come in and just spend, do you know what, I'm going to buy £20 million striker. Yeah, I know they hear that. I don't want any of that. In fact, I didn't want it before. When we were getting linked with Jordan Rhodes, I was telling everybody who'd listen, and there's people in this chat tonight who I've known for 20 or 30 years who'll tell you that I was saying, no. Because that's just a random signing based on, he scored a lot of goals elsewhere. Any player sign, do they fit what you're doing on the pitch at that time? If they don't, it doesn't matter who they are. You could sign Gerd Muller. He would have not got 30 goals in that football that Carlos were playing in season 2. Because it was restrictive football, keep it tight. So I just want someone to come in who's got a business plan, who says, right, let's try and rescue ground. If we can't rescue it, and someone who says, do you know what? I'm not going to be a quick fix. It might take me 5 years, it might take me 10 years, it might take me 15 years. But we'll get there and we'll do it right. And we're going to build you something to be proud of. There'll be some highs along the way, there'll be some lows. I genuinely think you're going to go, all right, so that's all football fans want, something to be proud of. It's not about, if it was just about winning something, I think this is what these clowns, these billionaire clowns who buy football clubs don't understand. It's not all about coming in and chucking money at it and trying to win something, because so few clubs fucking win anything ever anyway. And they ever, how many teams have won Premier League in the last 30 years? How many teams have won FA Cup, League Cup? How many? An handful. So fans are Leighton Orient and Gillingham. Why do they go week in, week out? A Wednesday at Oxford. Why do they go week in, week out? Because they want to see good football and they want to see the team win some games. And as long as that's happening on a fairly consistent basis, they'll always get behind it. Nobody wants the world. Batman Ninja versus Yuzuka League. It might have been. That might have been the one. The opening scene was a bloodbath. Would you rather have in current roles, Starmer or Chansiri? Tony Benn. This is latest. Sheffield Wednesday, a proposed takeover last week has fallen through. Manager Danny Will might be leaving after all, just days after returning. Exactly. Fucked. Leon, where were you earlier? You could have I could have pulled these up earlier if you'd been in first 5 minutes. Instead, I'd got these daft bloody things that, I was trying to get up and I didn't know how to do it, and I've lost my sen again now. We are fucked. The thing about selling a club is it takes a long time. But that's the thing, Brian. Even if we'd sold yesterday or the day before and it not all fell through, it would have still taken another 2 months for everything to get sorted, ratified, books to be checked, every, forensic accounting and this and that. It still would have took us well into the season anyway. So, let's have a look. What else we got? Would you welcome Dave Allen back? Nope. The AFL are just bad, not a rule against someone to exploit clubs. Like I said, their hands are tied because the regulations are signed off by the clubs and the clubs are run by the owners. So then they're going to sign out off that stops them being spivs, are they? So AFL, their hands are tied. And like I said, out of every power base in football, they've got the least power. The Premier League's at the top. I would say it's then club owners and then probably FA and then AFL. Yeah. At least we have Ugbo. Maybe they'll give him boosted needs unless he's one of those whose hand is noticing. With a full pre-season, as I said earlier, I think we're bored, score goals. But we've sold all the supply line now. Tony Skelton, this gets worse and worse, makes no sense whatsoever. The only conclusion that's beginning to make sense is there's something seriously wrong that's been covered up. Possibly. And when he goes, if the result like that, it would all come out. The only thing that would be news to 1867 news, Simon, is the world is round. No time for it. Oh, yeah, I heard that about the flat earth thing. The Silver Age comic, 60s to 80s. I want to go Spider-Man comic, and they were quite light-hearted. So we're getting a lot of back issues when I was a kid. My dad used to get them when he could. And then they went a bit dark, and I got one, and it was Batman, Super Spider-Man, sorry. There was a new villain in it called Headhunter. And basically, this bloke went around just chopping people's heads off and keeping them as souvenirs. And that's when I first thought, oh, this is getting quite dark. And I was quite young then. Barry Taunton, Ugbo banging 40 goals. Yes, I've been drinking. Keep drinking, Barry. Keep drinking. I think it's the only way we're going to get through. Now, well, let's have a little bit, up the Blades. Here we go. My Blades fans are in again. They love it. They love it. Well, I watched Wednesday Till I Die podcast last night. I was washing up, set my phone up, got my headphones in. Hundreds of United fans. Hundreds. They love it. They love the Wednesday. And they will do, because obviously we are the old brother that they came from. A bit like that thing in, what's that Arnold film? When he's on Mars, and there's that thing with little growth. That's, essentially what it is, isn't it? Wednesday United. I remember queuing to see the first Christopher Reeve film shown at the ABC on Angel Street. Nearly as big as a Star Wars could go on. Well, of course, Christopher Reeve Superman is the greatest Superman, will always be the greatest Superman, and is one of the greatest films of all time. And I would say Lois Lane hanging out of the helicopter, hanging onto a microphone cable, him getting in, having a quick comedy look at the phone box, going into the revolving door, getting up, saving her. Don't worry, I've got you. You've got me, who's got you? Oh, here comes helicopter back onto the roof. Statistically speaking, it's still the safest way to travel. That is the greatest continuous 20 seconds in film history. You know what I love most about it? There's a bit when he swoops up. Now, if that was CGI, he'd go up like that. But he don't, because it's all wire work. It goes up like that in a nice sweeping arc, and that makes it look more realistic. Brilliant. Brilliant. Remember when we had to stick first year next to another keeper? That was a novelty, but this year it feels like we're going to have to stick car park mount pitch. And fire starter, yeah. First year net with a broken hand, I believe, and after he had a bottle of champagne with that New Year's game. HMRC would wind us up. Yeah, that's the problem. To go into admin, you really need the board to come together and decide, you know what, we've shit as portfolio. We need to go into admin. We need to ask for help. The problem is with Wednesday, we've got a board of one, and that one is a fucking lunatic. Official coach Danny Hurst Awardist. In retrospect, I'd sooner kept Warris since all this, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. I wish it's it. David S was an all-round striker. I mean, I'm talking about Superman here. At that time, in my eyes, David S and Superman were about level pegging. Unbelievable pace, strength, shoot with both feet, good in air, could cross, dribble, could out-muscle players on sprint, could dribble past players, unbelievably hard shot, could link the play, eye for the pass. There's a window of 18 months, I think David S was the best striker in Britain. And I would say possibly the top 10 strikers in Europe at that time, for a window of 18 months. Paul Warris, whilst he had an unbelievable scoring streak, it was all very much instinct. And if you remember that following season, when he was a recognised striker by then, 3 or 4 games, no goal, because suddenly he's trying to be a centre forward rather than being a centre half doing a job up front. And suddenly he's trying to drop in and link the play, and it didn't suit him. He were best when ball flashed in, no time to think, bang. Yes. Yes, David is unbelievable. Adrian Denton, both England and Sweden missed 5 penalties. It was insane. I gave up and came back to serve. Pressure situations, penalties, and there's no doubt about that. I think with all the assets stripping, the price is dropping daily, definitely. Tim Burton Batman was incredible. Remember when all the people in the baseball kept scores up at Wimbledon? Because there'd been no Batman for what? 25 years at that time. People had been starved, and that it was huge. That summer when that new Batman was coming out was absolutely. It was. There was no internet. And don't forget, there was no dodgy stick at that time. A film came out in America. You had to wait. And it was like a crescendo. Everybody went to see that film. Everybody. And I do love Tim Burton's Batman, but there's just one thing that's always annoyed me about it. Giving Jack Nicholson the prosthetic smile, Joker smile. Jack Nicholson didn't need that. If you see Jack Nicholson smiling in The Shining, grinning, you can just paint that face white, and that's terrifying enough. You know, you don't need that prosthetics. And that's, if you could go back in time and tap Tim Burton on the shoulder and just one thing, mate, this all looks great. Jack don't need that. Do you know what I mean? That's what I do. A fucking stray cat in kitchen. Agreed, Superman was lots of fun. 8 out of 10. That the new Superman, Adrian, because I do want to go and see that one. Have you seen The Boys? Yes, I have seen The Boys. I feel like they've borrowed heavily from that. More in Big Air. I feel like it borrowed a lot from that. We won on pens, 2-0 down. Pens were mental, missed 3 in a row. So I might watch it now. I've not against women's football. Well, apart from goalkeeping, I can't get on with goalkeeping. But women's football has improved massively. But women's football to me is a bit like snooker and tennis. If I watch it from first round, I'm invested. if I don't get into something first or second round, I'm like, oh, do you know what I mean? Can you review the Superman film, Escapers? When I've seen the new Superman film, I will review it. Although I keep getting comments now and again. Stop fucking talking about other stuff from football. And I'm like, in fact, somebody sent me a nicer version of a similar comment where they saying, oh, you should set up a separate channel where you just talk about other shit. But I don't really think I've got time. That might be a good. Mark Somerset, Jim, weekend coming. Yeah, I'm working and all. I know. HW Racing, is that horse racing? Bike racing? Stock for April, probably fuel up. Could easily see our gaming issue not happening at this rate. Really woody. There'll be somebody on park. There'll be 11 on park. You know, it might be me and Paul Cook and Russell. I'm sure Henrik Pedersen can still do a job. There'll be players on park, but it's just a fucking nightmare scenario. Sorry, I've got so many comments here. There's so many of you still up and awake. 233 watching. Oh God, that's a point. I meant to ask you to share, like, and subscribe these videos. Click like now. Most of you's probably already done it. I think you're quite well versed now, aren't you? You know more about it than me. Battle of the Planets, but yeah, well, I have seen some of that original Gatchaman. It fit very well in our modern workplace because it's source material. Zoltar is actively encouraged where I work. I'll leave it at that. Time for a Netflix documentary. Like I said, we'd have made a killing if we had. I'd rather talk about anything than Sheffield fucking Wednesday out now. So you can turn and fed up with the negativity. It is. It does hurt, and it's. Deep Punch should say the most hated person in the game. I'll tell you what, if I'd got a loaded gun with one bullet, there's a few I'd have to get lined up with, you know. Nah. Let's, the Wednesday week, evening, Matt Dan. New kit was on my main 97 CDT class, Mr. Cupboard. It is a bit word art in it, that. But at least it's 3 stripes, Dan. At least it's 3 stripes. I don't like the pinstripe. I don't like the, the Colin West effect, as I call it. 3 nice thick stripes. Don't like white collar, bit cheesy. Black collar. I haven't seen back of it yet, though. I haven't seen back. Somebody did message me earlier and said, "Oh, you like new 3 stripes?" I went, "Yeah, I like 3 stripes." Have you seen back? I went, "No." They went, "Well, let me know when you do." So I've suddenly got a haunting feeling we might be back to Dinlady's tabard, which is, Hi, Jim. Wish Milan had never sold us. Well, Milan's missus were badly at the time, weren't she, I think? And I think he got on his plate, so he was going to sell. But if it hadn't been him, who would have like Mamadov, Land of Fire, all these... Football's awash with spivs. Football's awash with spivs. If it'd not been Channers, we'd have probably got sold to some other spiv because it's just our fucking luck, innit? And I think as a fan base, we're too laid back, really. Dan, let's not forget Milan Mandrick found this bloke and it's been a shambles ever since. It was the first problem and gives a bigger one. It were... I've got to be careful here. No, I'll leave that. Dan knows, though, because I have spoken to him before about that. So, I love the way Jim puts stuff across. I would never be on any Wednesday side, best lads infectious. Oh, of course, Brian, yes, because, yes, one of my friends from down the road, where you're signing all your Bulgarians, aren't you? Evening, Jim. What a shambles in Hillsborough. Chansere systematically destroying the club. Get him out. Get a new owner, new infrastructure. A club that know what they're doing. That's all we want, Elmsman. A plan. I think it's all we've ever wanted. And I've said this with day one, Chansere. If he'd come in and said, I don't know about football, but what I'm going to do is surround myself with people who do. And I've got quite a lot of money behind me. I know Wednesday's historically a big club. Might take me 5-10 years, but I'm going to get you back there. After 15 years of shit, I think we'd have gone, yeah, sound. Can we make sure it's a central blue stripe? Would have been all right with that. I think we got a little bit ahead of schedule. Got some results we probably weren't expecting. A bit higher up than we thought. Adulation. And I think he thought, fuck me. I didn't realise it was that easy. All I've got to do is chuck money at players. Yeah. Up the shagging Wendy's. Yeah, ride up us at minute. Raid up Ricker. And you all don't not leave us with this drama and let's talk about fixes for motion players. Football. Exactly. That's all we want. Never ever forget. Good old Wednesday, aren't we? We are. He's not, but we are. Actually, it reminds me of Reading a few years ago. League One is a nasty medicine. Somebody will sort you out. We've had more than enough of that medicine, now, haven't we? I'm 50 in 6 months. So Wednesday, for more than half my life, I've been out at top flight. Not just in this spell, but in previous spells as well. Second and third division. For what? 30 years, 35 years out of 49. Should be used to it, I suppose. Saying that about John Rhodes, what's your thoughts when we signed Forestieri? I was quite happy we signed Forestieri because we knew he'd got ability. We'd seen what he'd done in promotion season for that Watford side. My biggest issue with Forestieri was dictating to the manager where he wanted to play. I don't care who you are. If a system suits the squad, whether it's 3 at back, 4-3-3, whatever, if a system suits 9 out of 10 players outfield, you do what's best. And if you've got a player and you're saying, you're going to have to play outside left for me because that's what gets the best out of the group. And that player says, I don't want to play outside left. I want to play centre forward. I say, well, fuck off on then, because he's playing centre forward. You're playing outside left or get knobbed off. You cannot have players dictating like that. I'd have fucking dropped him for that. When he didn't want to get up bus, he'd have gone. He would have fucking gone. And he gave us some great moments. Fantastic football that I will never say he wasn't. But fucking business. If a club offers you £15 million for the player that's produced in 1 out of his first 2 seasons, at 29-year-old, would snap their fucking hand off. Fucking lunacy. Absolute lunacy. Jake, our regular Oxford supporter, like most owners, they just want to make a profit, but rarely happens, especially when you just chuck loads of money on it. Anyone who wants to get in football to make a profit, I don't know. I don't know where they're getting that idea from. There's so few people that turn a profit in football. I think Milan Mandrick is probably one of the few of them. But we know a lot of kids will play next season. Many who think will take their chance for Zia, Bailey, Kadamata. But I think it's worth remembering, I'll have to wrap this up. So it's worth remembering that Kadamata, the elder, he'd actually come in and nick goals of the year, didn't he? He'd nick 1 or 2 goals and he looked a bit raw in 1 or 2 areas, but he'd come in and nick goals. He's had a spell at Lincoln where he weren't in team, then he was in and doing well, then he picked up an injury, which is unfortunate. He'll be back, but we know he's got potential. We know even for a young age, he's got a physicality to him. I mean, he scored a goal at Hillsborough over a year. When a dramatic goal or a wonderful, glorious fixture on the eyes, but he scored it with claret on his face because he put his head in where it hurt. He'll nick goals, that lad. I'm sure he will. It's just finding people to provide the service, innit? I've just had that one. I'm getting a bit bad. I'm going to end up being player manager. Looking, Henrik Pedersen might end up player manager at this rate. We are short. Danny will never walk. He'll stay until he's sacked or gets a payday. I don't know if that's a cat or an owl. Maybe it's both. Danny will never... That's got to come to a conclusion, Danny. That cannot linger on and on and on. It's got to go. Worst penalty shoot I've ever seen. I've just split a rib from laughing so hard. I'm going to have to look at this penalty shoot, aren't I? Leon, we should have brought the spare line across from the cup years ago. I never understood why we didn't. But yeah, because short-term thinking. Everything short-term thinking. I know people who've been on about that land since I were 5, 6, 7 years old. At that time, though, it were Wednesday should buy that and have a big training ground on it. And that's 35 years ago, 40 years ago. People who run clubs don't seem to, you know. Might fit to it, Emerson, but I'm mildly optimistic that Danny and the young guns might surprise a few salts. It's hope to kill you. Well, like I said, apparently Danny jetted in, took a training session, and is jetted back out again. I don't know how true that is. Maybe he's still around. I've absolutely no idea. Total Recall, great film. That's right. Total Recall. That's what I was on about with the little United growing out at belly at Wednesday. Nigel, what would your suggestion be if you were asked to choose away protesting? Don't buy out and don't go. Especially a televised game. Now, I know it's tricky. It's hard. It's people's lives and people look forward to it. At work all week, you might work 50-hour week, weekend. Maybe it's the only time you see your kids. It's your thing, you're good at match. Maybe it's just your escape, whatever it is. And if you've bought season tickets, of course, you've already paid for it. So, but I do think a game, especially a televised game, just imagine the impact of there being nobody there, like it with COVID again. I think that, maybe that'd have an impact. But although Ted made me laugh on Wednesday Till I Die podcast last night because Ted ran about, I'll jump on a plane and I'll fly out there. He did make me laugh. That was it. My mum loves Batman besides Superman. She loves Batman more than Superman, or she loves Batman besides him? That's two very different things. I did love the original Superman film, but I think Henry Cavill is the best way. I liked Henry Cavill. I didn't think he had a great script to work with. Richard Donner, that first Superman film, he brought the magic to it. But that was tagline, wasn't it? You will believe a man could fly. And I tell you what, I'm 49 years old now. I still watch that film, and I still believe a man can fly when I've seen it. So he brought a magic to it. And I did like Henry Cavill. I thought he was terrific. And I just think, what could Richard Donner have done with him with his magic touch? Goonies, that was another Richard Donner, wasn't it? I just found the Snyder one, I just find the dialogue too clunky for me. If you've got shit dialogue, it doesn't matter what effects you've got, And I'm not even getting into Batman, Superman when, no, that rooftop scrap, it's too annoying. A lot of new movies are doing more white work and less CGI and look better for it. Exactly. When them X-Wing fighters go down into that gully in the first one, there's a reason why they look so realistic. It's because they are fucking real. The models are wired. That's why it looks good. That's why it looks realistic. That's why the shadows are accurate. Fucking AI. Sound like Wilder now before he got booked on it. With everything going on in our country, the world and life, we have to have this on top. Like I said, we've got to try and laugh about it. Lost Boys, great movie. Second and third were a load of shit. second and third. I've never seen second and third. Was there a Lost Boys 2? Genuinely. I'm not even taking a piss. I've never seen it. I've never heard of it. Let's have a look, Brian. The kid who does Wednesday Till I Die podcast did a show with us. He's also called Jim, or James, maybe he's posh. On Blades Ramble called Steel City Show, and it went really well with that a lot. Top line and positive, make it a monthly thing. It's good work. I don't hate United. I've never hated United. I know there's extremes, and a good workmate of mine. He genuinely would love it if there was an earthquake and Bramall Lane fell into it. He would love it. But I'm never really that way. Like I said, our little annoying younger brother. So always got a bit of time for you, Brian. Think we'll see the elephants in the Don before the week's out. I'm amazed they're not there already. Genuinely. I don't know what it'll take for elephants to go in Don, but I think when they do, I think that's when we'll know that the kindling's really gone up. Hurst's shoulder layoff. Shoulder. Come back with the rest of the comment. Fucking hell. I'm having to do your job for you here. First time I watched Star Wars on VHS. It was Bad George Lucas interview. VHS, we actually had a Betamax. And every Saturday morning, I'd watch Spider-Man, Batman, going live, all that. And then in that window up to Grandstand, put cassette tape in. And you could get 2 films on a tape. I got Flash Gordon and Superman 1 on one. And I've got Star Wars and Superman 2 on other. And then the third one, I just got Treasure Island on it. And I love Treasure Island, the Robert Newton one, obviously. Every actor who's ever played a pirate ever since has based it on the Robert Newton, Long John Silver. Fact. I'm even going to say fact in capital letters. Let's get that Netflix and Disney Plus money for a documentary stream. Like I said, would have been an absolute killing. Absolute killing. Al's probably worth 40 to 50 million, says Al's man, decreasing by the day. Well, exactly. I mean, clubs are only worth what people are going to pay, but if you put a bid in of 50 million and he says it's not enough, and then 3 days later, that 4-sided ground is now 3-sided ground, it's no longer worth 50 million, is it? And then he sells your top player. Then he sells probably your second best player, then your third best player, and your top scorer for 2 seasons going free. It's decreasing. It decreases every single day that he's still there. That a cat, an owl, a mouse. Apart from the odd idiot who I kicked out, there was some mutual respect shown, and we offered genuine sympathy with their situation. But I think that's the thing, Brett. I think I work with a lot of United fans, and they're all sound blokes. And one of my mates at work, I see him every single day, United fan, and we have a good chat about football, and there's no animosity. And it's only ever the sort of hardcore, I think, innit? Nice Joker quote there from Slappy. You ever danced with the devil by the pale moonlight? Well, we've danced with him. And look where we are. Yep, review the new Superman film. Reeves' dopey portrayal of Clark Kent was mastery. It was. It really was. The body language, the stooped shoulders, the facial mannerisms, even just a little Ronnie Corbiton at glasses. Absolutely fantastic. And it brings about a wider debate into comic books. And I've always thought that Clark Kent is the character in Superman. Clark Kent is who he is. Superman's the alias, if you like. Batman's the other way, isn't he? I think Batman is Batman, and Bruce Wayne is what he hides behind. See what I mean? Do you know what I mean? If you don't, have a think about it, come back. Danny may be able to recruit some young German players on loan if he's stopping. Well, that's the thing, Betty. From what I've heard, he's knobbing off back to Germany. And who knows if he'll be back or not. Young German players, that's the one thing that surprised me when Danny first came. Getting back to football for a minute and depressing us all. I genuinely thought that we'd be bringing loads of German players in from market because he'd worked over there with their under-21s, with the national team, obviously with the Bayern Munich. And I thought, we hardly brought any in. And I do wonder how much of that is because he's gone to the club, it's a chance really, with a list. And some of these lads, can he chance? And he's gone, passed them to his trusted advisor and said, these lads, any chance? And he's gone, these German lads, no, but I've got some lads who you might. And I mean, I'm really surprised. Although apparently we were going to sign that left back. I've had that from an authority that I would 100% trust, who said that would almost signed, sealed and delivered, that German left back. And then Danny got accosted at a social occasion by some drunk people who said we don't want him in our club with the allegations against him. Whatever. The North Stand will be blacked out. I hope so. Watchmen, yeah, that's what I mean with the boys. I think it borrows heavily. There's a lad from Chester, it really hurts me to think Wrexham could put 45 past us. That don't sit well at all. Is it Chester, Wrexham with a 3-sided clock? Because they won't give time of day to them. My mate told me that about 20 years ago, and every time I see him, I still say, what was that? Because I always forget. Well, time favourite superhero is Spider-Man. I think Tommy Maguire is the best. I did, I think I was talking about something. I did like that first Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Because we'd not had one for years. And I thought it was quite faithful. Willem Dafoe were good. Again, what I was saying with Jack Nicholson as Joker with prosthetic thing. And Willem Dafoe had that thing. I think Willem Dafoe, you could have had him as a Joker without that helmet thing, you know. No, talk about anything but football. Well, maybe we will. It is a football chat. It is. Maybe I don't need to set up a separate channel just to talk about other stuff. Working Weekends used to be double time. Yes, well, back of the kit is two-tone blue stripes with the word art. Is it? It's not got any white stripes on back. Ethy, stop fucking talking about fucking comic books and get back to Wednesday. Ethy's a work colleague of mine, and as you can tell there, he's very posh, well spoken. Ethy, got to enjoy comic books. I'll bring you some in. We'll start off slowly with a Beano. I'm more annoyed about wasting all the money on Aberdeen roads than him saying it is. Well, he is. He's a toddler. He's like a toddler. And that, I bought roads for you because that's what you wanted as fans. A lot of fans are also morons. You know, we've got to say that. I was sat at a game once, and this is just as an example of what I mean. And everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and that's fair, even if they're wrong. Turned up, and a couple in front of us, she weren't really bothered about football, to be fair. She's reading a book. This was during the Chris Turner days, and it was an hard watch. I think we're playing Wrexham. Anyway, half time, team went off, horrible display. Come on, second half, pretty sure Wednesday were going behind, and he nudges Birdie. And he went, that's how shit these are at manager. And he went, they ain't even fucking twigged yet that their wingers swap sides. Full fucking swap sides, mate, second half. But some people don't, you know. So if some people said, get Jordan Rhodes, he scored loads of goals, it's up to the club to go. He has scored loads of goals in a different type of football that's now ended. We now live in a type of football where every player on pitch has got to work. You can't have a goal langer who doesn't bring anything else to the table, especially when our manager has absolutely shit it because we lost playoff final last season and it broke his little heart. He's now looking at the examples of Middlesbrough and Burnley who just keep things compact for 90 minutes and thinks that's his way forward. And there's no point having a goal langer who sits in 6-yard box playing in a team that's not going to get balls into the box. But no. Oh, fans want him. I'll get him. 10 million quid. Fuck me, rigid. Fuck me, rigid. Right, let me get through some more comments. There's loads in here. I'm ever so sorry if I've not got through all of them. Samantha, thanks for your mix of football and miscellaneous of things. Fantastic start to my insomnia tonight. I'm same. I've started a bit earlier tonight, though. Yeah, insomnia. Bruno Fernandes is better than yours. But who were that kid that we lost over 8? We were like captain under 14s. We're even losing them now. That's, you know. You're incredibly creative as a fellow YouTuber. I really admired all of your inserts. Well, thank you for that. I don't know what this is me trying to be clever. I don't know what I'm doing. I've done it again. I am trying, but I am of a certain age where it's not to do with age, actually, that's a lie. It's getting out of a habit. When you're young, you never read instruction for, don't you? You buy something, you get it out of that box, cables everywhere, ding, 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 turn it on, faff about, 10 minutes later, I've conquered it. When I'm older, I'm like, what the fuck's this and that? It's not because of age, it's because I just got out of habit. I went 8 years we had a mobile phone. And you get out of it. So when I did get one, I'm like, oh, it's all touchscreen now. Used to be buttons when I last had one. It takes you a while to get back up with technology. However, what I will say is, I mean, I've got to have a phone now so kids can contact me and whatever. It's a dangerous world. But that 8 years I didn't have a mobile, fucking magnificent. Probably amongst the best 8 years of my life because nobody could get hold of me. Brilliant. Let's keep it going. Heard the shirt sales are doing really badly this season. Yes, somebody told me that compared to the same time, first day sales last time we had a new shirt release, they're only at about 5-7% of what they were before. So people are really staying away. Let's get going. Let me get some more up. Sorry, I've got so many comments in these boxes you would not believe. The scroll list is unbelievable. Bedtime for me, Jim. Cheers. Going to make move a legal convertible Golf Mark 1 tomorrow. Wipers on the blink one in Manchester. What could go wrong? Night, Jez. Thanks for joining in. Mark 1 Golf. Over in Manchester. Well, it will be raining over there. I watch Schwarzenegger films like Predator and last. I saw I saw a short today that AI is terrifying. It was Wizard of Oz, somewhere over the rainbow, and somebody had imposed Arnold Schwarzenegger's head on it and his voice singing it. And it looked so realistic. There was only one moment, a split second, when one of our eyes went a bit buzz. But other than that, it was so realistic. It's absolutely terrifying. And the reason it's terrifying, if that's what us morons are allowed to see and use, technology, yeah, let the morons. If that's what we're allowed to use, what have they got? The man. Paul, hey up, Jim. Paul A. Cookie, excellent as bar striker. Most others watching in Canada. Hope all is good. Paul, great to hear from you. Back in the day. Paul used to play football with us, ex-Rotherham United striker, and Paul was fantastic. First couple of training sessions, obviously Paul's been a professional. Have you got any tips for young lads? And obviously, I'm pretty sure it was Billy Bremner, Paul, I'm sure you'll correct me. We play 4 down at Millmore. So some little tricks, moving ball, pretending to tie your shoelaces, helping people back up and nipping little soft bit under the arm. Absolutely. Some great memories there, Paul. Great to hear from you. Over in Canada, I'm starting to wish I'd gone over there myself. Apart from the fact I've got no transferable skills, unless talking shit is a transferable skill these days. What do you mean, Flash Gordon approaching? One of the greatest films of all time, Flash Gordon. My kids still won't watch it. Timothy Dalton playing Prince Barin as a posh Yorkshireman. Bit of a strange take. Genuinely, watch it. Next time you watch it, focus on that. Dalton playing him as a posh Yorkshireman. Freeze, you bloody bastards. That's one of my favourite bits. Love it. Love it. Dex, evening, pal. We're all up all the night out tonight. Surprised if we can field 11 come August. Left back, Dan Fudge. Right back, Dex. We can get a team out. It's just who we can get out. Predictions for Friday's shitstorm. It could be out. It could be absolutely anything with this fuck nugget in charge. That's a Tony owl. What the noise outside my house? That Tony owl. I know it's an owl because we do get quite a lot of wildlife around here. It's really, really nice. We get bats, owls, badgers, foxes. Although the state over the last, I would say, 5-10 years, sadly, a lot of old people have died. That's the truth of the matter. It's sad, but that's life, isn't it? But a lot of young couples moved in, and a lot of them just concrete and everything. So less wildlife. We don't see as much at badger, but still get quite a lot on back. And there's woods off at back, so that's nice. Yeah. Sorry, folks. I've got literally hundreds of comments here. I'm trying to ping them. Cad's the first, could get sold. It's possible. Yeah, I won't be surprised. I do think he'll start next season, and I do think he'll nick goals in a team with a creative midfield. Who have we got left in midfield now? Chalabar, Ingleson. Yeah, Chalabar and Ingleson will have to go. 1950s, 2-3-5. We're fucked, aren't we? Absolutely fucked. Defon Owl noise there. Yeah. What did we say? Tony Owl. Yes. Yes, Tony Owl. How reviews his body language between Clark Kent and Superman is a masterclass. It is. It's an absolute fucking masterclass. It's the shoulders. It's the shoulders again. Because he was a big unit, weren't he? Christopher Reeve. It's a big unit, and the play off with Margot Kidder as Lois Lane, because she only little, but she gives that feisty performance. There's scenes with them two together, but there's got to be a foot difference, and he's the meek one. He's the quiet in the scene, and like you said, it's the body language and the delivery of the lines with he's sort of throwing some of the old Midwest, gee, Lois, not, it's fantastic. Brilliant, a brilliant film. Clark Kent is the weakness of the new film, Jim. Getting Clark Kent right is the secret to being a good Superman. Because Clark Kent is the character. Superman's the cover. I always go back to that. Batman all the way. You've got to get your Batman right. Your Bruce can be really what you fucking want, because Bruce is the cover. See what I mean? Do I take it too seriously? McClintock, Frank McClintock? Or are you talking about MacGyver? Congrats to Dan Moore receiving an honorary degree at Derby University. I'd like an honorary degree. Don't know what in. Can get them in out now, no, can't you? Get a degree in anything. Endo planning, anything you want. Yes, but anyway, well done to Dan Moore. A lot of time for Dan Moore, smashing fella. Great man. I hate to get back to football, but look at the shit show we were in. And he came in and everybody's down, we've been relegated, docked 6 points. And he went so far to rebuilding that relationship with fans. Throats going, it's been to her. Rebuilding that relationship with fans. Then the promotion. After coming up, there were so many easy wins for Wednesday then. So many little things. We'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. Everybody's on side. And he just fucking sacks a manager. Absolute fuckwit. Right, as I've enjoyed the stream, mate. Love the face pulls. Take care. Looking forward to your next one. See you later, Brian. Bleeding up the blade. Yeah, right up the blades. Go on, get out. What do you think's the best tool to remove elephants? Peanuts, probably. Probably peanuts. They're huge fans of them. Bow and arrow. Green Arrow, never a fan of him. Superhero figures are all metaphors for what you could actually be. Like fairy tales are based in truth as well. Oh yeah. Bit philosophical, did you? Have you been at ale as well? I know I have. I think everybody's been at ale tonight, haven't they? Up the blazing Peath bomb. My parents are gone. Where's it? Like I said, we're all Sheffielders at the end of the day, aren't we? Face asked for that signing. The only face I'm bothered about is face from the A-team. Rhodes ran like his knees were tied together. Ted will sign it. I just think Jordan Rhodes was like a flashback to a previous era, but somehow caught in the modern day. It was like he'd accidentally got stuck in a TARDIS and dragged forward 5 years and accidentally fell out, and he found himself a footballer in a world where you couldn't hang about in 18-yard box, And I've heard he was an absolutely smashing bloke as well. So it's a real shame. But Lost Boys the Tribe, 2008. Lost Boys the third. I've never even heard or seen either of them. And you know what, Leon? I'm going to keep it that way, because the original Lost Boys is an absolute classic. Classic. Aquarius music again. Have I put that on by accident? Have I turned it off? Let me know. Do you want to go about video games instead? I'll be lost. I've not had a video game system. Kids have got one now, one of them things. I've not had a video game system since my PlayStation 1, which got burgled. And then I've replaced it. We ended up with vouchers or something, and we bought a washing machine. So yeah, gaming, I'm out, unless it's... I've got Wonder Boy 3, kids have got it on that Switch. Blast from the past there. I'm not sure as much of a Luddite as you make out. I genuinely am. I am really bad. But fortunately, I do work with a lot of people who are quite handy. So I am quite often. Just have a quick look at that and sit, and they're like, fucking hell, Jim, just do this. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's good, isn't it? And same with kids. Have a look at this. It's like, I used to edit on Movie Maker on my old laptop. And it was getting slower and slower and slower. And if I made a 5-minute video on here, it would probably take me 2 hours. And by the time it's saved and rendered, that's the phrase, isn't it? And rendered it, if I put any even simplest graphics on it, kids were like, Dad, just use a modern app. But I couldn't. I like that one. It got a scissors icon, and it was dead simple. Dead simple. I don't see many bats in Sheffield. Oh, they're always there. There's always bats. They loop outside my back. I see them every night. I see them when at work. You have to keep your eye out. Dusk. They are there. Keep your eye out, GE. I'd eat some more carrots. Cantus to Superman, like Taylor was to Clough. Nice. I'm giving you a star rating for that. I don't know what that does, but I've given one anyway. That might be comment at night. Might be the comment of the night. Comics and sci-fi and fantasy are all things that got me through my childhood, even more than football. Yeah, escapism to another world. And that's why I love football, because when I was a kid, Wednesday... Okay, we've only won one League Cup since 1935. 1935, we won FA Cup. So we've not won bugger all, haven't we? But good football and beating the big teams, even if you were finishing 10th, going to Old Trafford and getting a result, beating them, going to Anfield and beating them. That's an escapism as well. So books, football, music, they're all escapisms, and we've got to have them to keep us from going crackers. Obviously, reading comments tonight, it's far too late for some of us, but got to have that, them escapism. Chris, Leeds, as a Leeds fan, make sure you ruin Sheffield United. Well, thank you, Chris. Oh, God, you know what? I'd not even thought about derbies next season. I've not even thought about that. There's even been blades in chat. And we just chat, and I'd not even thought about fixtures. So let's just pretend they're not happening. I might book my holidays for that. I don't think I'll be able to bear it. But at least Wilder's gone, so that'll make it more bearable. You know what I mean? The Amiga was a bridge to the modern age. Crave of its time. It was. The Amiga, yes. Championship Manager. First game I ever played at Amiga was a Roger Rabbit game, which probably tells you about the time. Loads of bats. If you see birds splitting tusk, they are bats. They're also tiny. Yeah. Loads of bats for them. Thank you to the star rating. I'm propelled. I'm glad you're propelled. I never see batsmen in Sheffield. Never have. You will, G. You will. Not now. Too late now. Dusk. As soon as it starts going and you just get that low coloured in sky, just out, you will see them. And they tend to loop as well. So you will definitely see them. Keep your eye out. Look up, not down. That's the problem with these. Every fucker's always looking down. Look up. Get your head up like a midfield general. Steve, my brother met Christopher Reeve when he worked at Millennium Dome after his accident was around 2000 before he passed away. He said he was a lovely guy. He is and always will be the best Superman. Just like Michael Praed will always be the best ever Robin Hood. Full stop. Love spreads. KY jelly, what? Sandwich spreads. Potted mate. 65 today, 258. Happy birthday, Nigel. Happy birthday. What a time to be a Wednesday fan. Happy birthday. At least you don't have to deal with Premier League teams like us. I know, but it'd be nice, wouldn't it, just for 1 year at least. Spectrum and Mega Man built my first PC. I wouldn't have the first idea about building a PC. Happy birthday, Nigel. Yes. Happy birthday to Nigel. Robin the Hooded Man, exactly. Michael Praed, best ever Robin Hood. My gut spread, I don't know about love. This chat, I think we're all very... Genuinely, there's no need to compare with the best Supermans. The films are apples and oranges. They are, that's true. Everybody brings something different to it, and it's the same with Robin Hood. Yeah. But Christopher Reeve is the best Superman and always will be. Hate implodes. Wise words, mate. Wise words. You've been up more than ale tonight, haven't you? KO on the ales again. More than the ales. Are you a Doctor Who fan as well, Jim? I loved Doctor Who when I was a kid. My doctor was Peter Davison. I loved Doctor Who. I had a few TARDISes. Yeah, I loved Doctor Who. I loved it when they brought it back. I thought, miserable mank face. I thought he were perfect to bring it back for that first series with his leather jacket. And then I thought Tennant took it next level. And I liked Smith. I liked Smith as well. He's odd-eared. Didn't mind Scottish Blood, and I actually like Jodie Whittaker. I think she's a really good actress. But I stopped watching Doctor Who about 5 into her run because, frankly, I'm a 40-odd-year-old bloke. I don't need history lessons because I've done history lessons. I like history. I read history books. If I want to read history or learn about history, especially about how terrible Britain is, I can read an history book about it. I don't need it on a Saturday night when I just want to be entertained with aliens, you know. Which is a shame because, as I said, I think Whittaker's great. And I thought Bradley Walsh actually brought a comedic aspect that really lifted the show and lifted it out of some of those terrible lecture storylines that we were being subjected to. I'm still going through comments here. Well, thanks for the kind words, Jim. I was at Milmore and at Norman Hunter. That was it. Norman Hunter, not Billy Bremner. Let a few things under him took out also Dave Cussett, Billy Mickey. Billy was a brilliant tactician. No, honestly, it is really great to hear from you, Paul. Norman, bite your legs, Hunter. That's it. Bloody hell. Are you enjoying it out there in Canada? God, gutted when we lost you. But because that summer after you'd gone, we turned it round. We started turning it round. Oh, great days anyway. Great days. And that's something about football. This is why Chelsea annoys me. Football, in all its different shapes and forms and guises, brings people together. You meet so many people through football. at every level of the game, and you meet some wonderful characters, and that's probably the greatest gift out of it. And that's why to see somebody through complete ineptitude, pig-headedness and stubbornness ruining a club, it boils your piss, doesn't it? P Wednesday, I bid you all good night. It's been great Wednesday. Believe. Yeah, well, we are going to have to believe. My dad went to see Dio years ago. Tommy Holm was behind him and signed his ticket. Proper legend. Dio. That fucking horns. Massive Doctor Who fan. I thought he might be Paul. I'm getting a massive sci-fi vibe from our chats. Doctor was Baker Davis. Yeah, I did watch Baker when I was a kid. I was really... Tom Baker scared me as much as some aliens, actually, when he was in it. But, you know, with his grin. But yeah, Peter Davison was my Doctor Who. My Doctor is Tennant. He did... Tennant took it to the next level. I really think he did. What's the second series, most recent, best for years? My missus said that. She said, you'll have to watch it. She said, you'll actually really like this kid. I saw a couple of the very early ones. There were one with some babies, like pirate babies, and I was just like, no. But I might get second season around. Andy Barrett, cheers all. I'm all trying to keep the faith. It'll be right eventually. And eventually, there'll always be a Wednesday. That's what I've always said. It's just what shape or form it's in. But there will always be a Wednesday. Love the chat about everything other than football at the minute. Can you put the Doctor Who song on, please? I tell you what, I do like when I do my live chats to have a little bit of nostalgic music being in. So one week I will put the Doctor Who theme on, but it will be the Davison one. Because although the tune is the tune, the Davison one had a little bit of noise at the beginning, sound, which made it next level. The great thing about these chats is the non-football stuff. I know, I think that's how depressed everyone is, because usually it's I want to talk about a game and should Smith start, or should Windass play up front, is he a striker, is he a midfielder, is he a winger, nobody knows. People like them chats, but when everything's going to shit, you know. I'll have to finish watching tomorrow. I'm up at work 4:30, great stream as usual. Thanks, Firestar, good night. In fact, I will have to start wrapping it up because this is a very long stream and YouTube don't like them. If you like Tennant, I love Gatwa, they're well. I'll look out for that episode, Paul. They're well. I will look out for that. In season 1 is dire, 2 is considerably better. I know. My missus said that. She said the kid's good. And this is what I go back to. With Henry Cavill in the Zack Snyder Superman, you can look the part. You can be a fantastic, fantastic actor. You can have amazing special effects. You can have a brilliant costume team. If the dialogue is clunky, the rest of it is out of the fucking window. You know. Original by Ron Grainet, Dealey Derbyshire. The theme, yes. The Davison version by Peter. It's that first bit. I don't know what the sound is or what instrument used to make it, but it's the reason it's the best Doctor Who theme. This. Is it like an engine start? I don't know what it is. Anyway, brilliant. Right. I am going to wrap up, guys, because we are coming up 12:30. I've been going for just under 2.5 hours. Like I said, another shitstorm at Wednesday today with all the bad news. My day, as I said, started so well with my mate saying, oh, Pato might come back. And then after that, Windass has gone, Smith's gone, heavy, it's all turned to shit. North Stand being condemned and blah, blah, blah. But my throat is going. So I am going to wrap it up there, guys. Thanks for watching. Tune in for the next one. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to vote for me in them awards, which I can't find link for now. And if I could, I won't be able to get it on screen. Do that. and enjoy the rest of your week, especially if you've got tomorrow off like I have. Get in. See you later. Right, casual ending, and then I have to look around like a twat because I don't know how to end it. Oh, there we go. Still haven't fucking done it.